Hi, this is Professor Rujo Moreno with an overview of Learning Objective 6, Time Value of Money in Chapter 2. This is a critically important piece to understand in not just personal finance, but finance in general, time value of money. And if you wanted to learn how to use a financial calculator, Appendix E is dedicated to that in this book. All right, so first things first, future value is really about compounding, right? And there's two ways to look at future value. The first way is simply look at a single amount. So let's say you were given, um, you know, you were given a gift, $5,000 gift, and you were going to invest that $5,000 for the next 20 years and hoping that you were going to get at least 5%. Well, that's what we use future value of a single amount for. Okay. So in here, and that's what Appendix A will give you a factor. Here, they're looking at an issue where you've gotten $5,000 and you're going to save it for 6 years and you're going to get you're thinking you're going to get 5% per year for those 6 years. So Appendix A is where you look for the factor. Now the factor is simply for these two numbers, 6 year period at 5%. The factor is 1.34. So you start with $5,000, you multiply that by the factor of 1.34. That represents the 6 year period at 5%. So at the end of that 6 year period, you will have $6,700. Okay. So for the single amount, we're just looking at a one-time investment and you're just going to let it be. Right? And you use Appendix A to find the factor. What we usually do is look at future value also with if you're going to continue putting money in. So, for example, for folks that have a retirement account like an IRA or a 401k, they're going to continually put money in every single year for a number of years. So, they want to know what their future value would be if they kept doing that. Well, that's what the future value of an annuity tells us about. The annuity is simply a stream of payments. So, you're going to make more than one deposit into an account and you're going to continue doing that for a number of years. So you would use future value of an annuity. So here is an example where you hoped to have another $38,300 that you need for a down payment on a house. You have 6 years to do it, and you're hoping to earn 5% a year. How much would you need to put in every year to get $38,300? Well, Appendix B will give you the factor. The factor 6.802 is simply the intersection of the 6 year period at 5%. Okay. So if you need $38,300, you divide that by the factor of 6.802 and it tells you that you would need to save $5,600 and roughly $31 per year for that entire 6 year period, and you will have your $38,300 that you need in in 6 years. Okay. so so that's important. Again, here, if you needed, say, to save $45,000 in a 6 year period of time, um, you would again use the same factor in this case, 5% over 6 years, but now you need 45,000. So the 45,000 is going to be divided by the factor of 6.802, and that means you'll have to save $6,615.70 per year every year for those 6 years, and you'll have your $45,000. Okay. Present value is the same as what we call discounting. You're taking a future amount of money and you're turning it into today's dollars. So if you were promised $1 million when you turned age 60, how much money would that be worth today that you are 20 or 25 years old, right? So this is what we use present value for. It's a way of discounting a future amount to today's dollars. So again, there's two ways to look at present value. You can do it with a single amount. So the present value of a single amount would be, for example, let's say you wanted to have a retirement fund of $300,000. And you're going to have that in 25 years, and you're going to earn 5% a year for those 25 years. So what would you need to deposit today in order to have that $300,000 that you wanted in 25 years? Right. Well, Appendix C will give you the factor for 25 years at 5%. The factor is 0.295. You want $300,000. So you take the $300,000 and you're going to multiply it by the factor. And that means that if you deposited $88,500 today, you waited 25 years and you got 5% per year during that time, you'll have your $300,000 when you need it. Okay. Another thing to look at for present value is present value of annuity, which again is you're looking to have a stream of payments, right? You're going to not just take one lump, you're going to have a stream. So this is very useful for folks that are actually planning a retirement. They have a large amount of money in their IRA or 401k, and they want it to last a certain amount of time. They should use the present value of an annuity. That gives them an annual withdrawal based on what they need. So let's take a look at an example that's right out of your book. So let's say you have accumulated $300,000 for retirement and you want to make equal withdrawals for the next 30 years, assuming you're going to be earning 5% a year. Okay. So Appendix D will show you the factor for 30 years at 5% being 15.373. So if you started with the 300,000 and you divided that by the 15.373, you would get $19,514.73 per year. So this is what you can take out per year for the 300,000. That's an error there. And you will have roughly the ability to have that $300,000 last for 30 years if you just took that amount out. Okay. So these are very important types of things to learn. You're going to be looking at other videos on how to calculate this. And then, of course, you can have homework to practice this as well. But this is a very important part of this course.